Psychologically, the brain evolved to function in social environments. For most of human history, being alone meant vulnerability. So when you are alone today, even in complete safety, your nervous system remains alert. This alertness creates space for thoughts that normally stay hidden beneath daily distractions. You may notice memories resurfacing without invitation, old conversations replaying, questions you never answered. This isn't a mistake or a flaw. It's your mind entering a different mode, one that only activates when external pressure disappears. When you are around others, your brain prioritizes adaptation. It filters thoughts, controls emotional expression, and maintains social balance. But when you are alone, that filter weakens. The need to perform vanishes completely. It is in this stillness that the mind, freed from its constant social surveillance, begins to breathe differently. It allows uncomfortable truths, suppressed ideas, and the authentic architecture of yourself to emerge. It is no longer about managing external impressions. The mind no longer needs to manage impressions. It starts revealing the raw material. This is why many people report that their deepest thoughts appear late at night or during moments of isolation. This is the moment of radical honesty. The subconscious, which has been patiently waiting its turn, finally has the space to speak without interruption. It is a crucial conversation with yourself, an essential dialogue for growth and self-understanding, far from the cacophony of the external world. At this stage, solitude doesn't yet feel heavy. It feels quiet, neutral, almost peaceful. But this is only the beginning. This initial calm is deceptive, a temporary truce before the real engagement starts. Because once the mind realizes it has your full, undivided attention, no distractions, no escape, just you and your thoughts, it begins to change its behavior. It tests the boundaries of this new, silent space. It begins to surface every stored doubt, every forgotten fear, every unfinished conversation. It throws up distractions, anxieties, and relentless self-critique, demanding you engage with its chaos. And what happens next is where most people start to feel truly uneasy. They realize that the quiet they sought wasn't a peaceful void, but a crowded room where every voice is their own. The true challenge of solitude is not loneliness, but the intense, unedited confrontation with the self. When the mind is no longer distracted, it turns toward unresolved material. Thoughts you avoided during the day begin to surface, not because the mind wants to punish you, but because it wants completion. Psychologically, unfinished thoughts carry more mental weight than resolved ones. This is known as cognitive residue. Every unexpressed emotion, every postponed decision, every suppressed concern leaves a trace. During busy hours, these traces stay buried. In solitude, they rise. They demand attention, a silent audit of your internal landscape. This isn't a flaw in your psyche, it's a necessary process. The quiet hours are when your brain begins to defrag, sorting through the emotional and logical clutter left from the day's high-speed existence. To truly rest, you must first allow this processing. So, do not fear the surfacing thoughts. They are merely invitations to understand, to process, and finally, to complete what was left undone. Embrace the silence, for it is in the stillness that healing and resolution begin. Research in psychology shows that solitude increases self-referential thinking. That means your mind becomes more focused on your identity, your choices, and your internal narrative. This is why solitude can either lead to clarity or discomfort, depending on what you've been avoiding. People who constantly stay busy often fear being alone, not because solitude is dangerous, but because silence removes distraction. And without distraction, the mind reveals truths that are easy to ignore but difficult to confront. This constant motion, this fear of stillness, often stems from a deeply ingrained societal pressure to be productive, to be seen. We mistake constant engagement for fulfillment, when in reality, it's a marathon of self-deception. When you finally stop, the mental noise doesn't instantly vanish. It amplifies. But this is the critical moment. This is where the discomfort of facing your own unedited thoughts gives way to genuine self-awareness. Embrace the silence, not as an absence of life, but as the raw space where your most essential self can finally speak and be heard. Only then can you begin to build a life based on authentic truth, not fragile distraction. This is also why creativity and insight often appear in isolation. When the mind is free from performance mode, free from the pressure to perform or the noise of constant collaboration, it connects ideas differently. This mental space, unburdened by external validation, is where true originality thrives. However, the same profound mechanism that allows the mind to make these novel connections and creates deep insight can also amplify doubt. Solitude strips away the external noise, but in doing so, it leaves you alone with your most critical inner voice. The quiet can make every whisper of insecurity sound like a shout. The difference lies not in the thoughts themselves, whether they are brilliant ideas or paralyzing doubts, but in how you choose to relate to them. Do you let the criticism silence the creativity, or do you observe the doubt without giving it power? In that relationship, the conscious way you engage with your inner landscape is what truly defines how solitude affects your mind. It transforms a simple physical state into a powerful, deliberate tool for growth.